Now that you're all warmed up and ready to go, thanks again for coming. Really appreciate it. I'm going to talk to you about where we've been as a company. Believe it or not, for the past 19 years, which sounds very crazy, and where we want to go for the next 19 plus years. I just turned 45 this week, so I figure I got a few good years left in me. Somebody put on my Facebook page, "Happy birthday, Dave. I hope the climb down the mountain is easier than the climb up." And I was like, "Are you officially calling me over the hill?" So I think we've got a great future ahead of us. I've been doing this for 19 years, and I still feel like I'm just getting started. I mean, it's very, the energy and the possibilities of what we can do in this industry. When I first started 95, the magazine, it was a very different environment with education. It was much different prices in education, much more student population, and much less thought about why to go to college and where you're going to go. Now, in today's world, college is much more expensive. There's many more opportunities, but there's a lot less students too. And then you add in all the alternatives. There's online alternatives, different, and just a lot of different options when it comes to what to do with the rest of your life. So in 19 years, I have to say that the industry has really, really changed. And I actually just think it's at the beginning of the change. I think the education, good and bad, there's going to be a lot of disruption. I think it's the next area that's going to be, totally revamped, and in 20 years, it's going to look a lot different. And the reason why I have you all here today is to kind of talk to you about how we have some ideas to be a part of that and help the whole disruption be more of a positive disruption. So next steps for Next Step. So we'll begin at the beginning. We started the magazine back in 1995. And in fact, my original partner is sitting over there, Christina Hutch-Matthews. You can wave your hand, thank you. And so I put out our, we started as a printed magazine for high school students in Rochester, New York. We printed 10,000 copies, came out to about 50 high schools in bulk for free. And the way we made our money was selling advertising. And everything we've always done for the students is free. So that's where we were in 95. We made a profit and, of course, wanted to expand the dream. So before you know it, by 2003, we were nationwide. We had expanded the magazine with 17 regional editions around the country, and we were reaching 3 million plus high school students per year in 20,500 plus high schools. And that was through print, mail, digital, the whole mobile, everything that you had to be on. That's how we reached our students. So that's where we were by 2003. Did a lot of great things over the years. We've been an Inc. 5000 company for 3 years in a row. We were a Rochester Top 100 company. We have won, there's a kind of a organization in media and press called EdPress that does awards every year, and we've won multiple awards with that. The most proud one that we won was Periodical of the Year, and we were up against, it was a nationwide award in DC, and we were finalists with New York Times. They have a publication for young people. Wall Street Journal, they have a publication for young people, and Scholastic. And so it was like these big three behemoths in, little NextStepU, and we won. So that was pretty cool. So we've done some good things from producing really great content. And that's always been our mainstay, and what we hang our hat on is let's have the best content in the business. Let's always produce the best product and have it be objective. We don't want people reading an article and feeling it was just influenced by an outside source. We always want to have objective, helpful content that's what's best for the student reading. So, and I've been a Rochester Business Small Person finalist of the year twice. So I jokingly call myself the Susan Lucci of the Small Business Award. So we'll see what happens if I get a third time. So I think she was like 15 or 20 though, so I might have a way to go. So 2013 was a crazy, just a crazy roller coaster, lots of loops and turns year, in an exciting way. I mean, frankly, that's my drug of choice. I think I drive my staff nuts, but we did a lot of new things in 2013. So the first being, bittersweet, after almost 19 years of publishing, we actually retired the printed magazine in May of this year. And it was bittersweet because, hey, I delivered, if anybody from Rochester, remember the Times-Union, which was our afternoon paper. I delivered the Times-Union, the shopping bag. I ran the college newspaper. I've been a print guy at heart. And so it was very bittersweet. But the model was getting very heavy to sustain. We had a lot of advertisers saying, hey, give us everything but print. We want digital. Printing and mailing goes up every year. And then if you look at any teenager these days, what are they doing? Are they holding a magazine, or are they holding their phone or their tablet? So we converted basically the magazine into a complete online resource. And after retiring the printed magazine, we actually took a sledgehammer to the website, NextStepU.com, and completely recreated that as well. And what we did is we ended up creating a portal, if you will, where students can come to the site. They could register, and then we learn who they are, where they are in their journey, and what they're looking for. And then they end up creating a dashboard. And then what we do is we basically populate that dashboard with relevant articles, content, scholarships, colleges, and other tools and resources that can help that student along their journey. And then we update it along the way as well. We tell them, we email them, tell them to come back. We find a new college for you. We have a new scholarship for you. So we're trying to be their trusted friend throughout the college planning process. And one big thing we do, I got to thank Ethan for this. The best thing I did was hired a guy who was 27 years old to reinvent our online strategy. Because what do I know? Yeah. So the best thing any of you can do to reinvent your web strategy is hire a really smart 27-year-old that knows online stuff. So I even just call it online stuff. But he made our site completely responsive, which means that it works on anything. And that's what you got to do these days is, start with the smallest device that you could think of that people use, and then go from there. Make sure it works on that first, and then start to get bigger. So our thing is very responsive, works very well on all different devices, which is really important these days. Oh, John, where are you? John, can you stand up, please? We have our cover model here with us today. He's taking autographs later and pictures. We actually should have had it blown up where you could stand in front of it with people. But John Serafin's our first cover model, director of guidance over at Fairport High School. So a new thing we did was, I just talked to you about how we retired our printed magazine. So crazy stuff. We actually launched a new magazine, but it's for the counselors. And don't take this the wrong way, John, but they're a little bit older and they still read print. So we wanted to maintain a tangible relationship with the high schools. Because one of the best things we had done over the years is establish opt-in relationships with 20,000 plus high schools. And we wanted to maintain a tangible product for the counselors to still have and think about us. And we had just a paper newsletter at the time called Link for the counselors that went along with the magazines. So we upgraded that to a full-color, beautiful tablet-sized magazine. This one is the first issue, came out last month or in October, and it's just gorgeous. It's 250 pages, and it went out to 65,000 high school guidance counselors in 25,000 high schools. Free. Once again, the colleges are advertising, trying to get on their counselors' short list to market themselves. So huge success. I'm very, very glad we did that. And of course, this is digital as well. So you can go online, you can go on our site, and you can read it online as well. And we also launched a school. So this is all in 2013, by the way. So we launched NextStepAcademy.com, which is it's an online school that is just for life skills. So there's half-hour courses, and the courses are on things that revolve around financial literacy, professional skills, communication skills, health, nutrition, fitness. We're going to do a lot of intro into career courses. So people thinking about a career in criminal justice. Well, what does that mean? That's take a half-hour course to make sure you know what that career really is, instead of just from your favorite TV show. And what are the other careers within that broad category? So we're doing a lot of things like that as well. We're giving this away free to high schools. so they can have the platform for free. And then the students put in a code, and the site becomes customized for that school. And then we get advertisers to support it, mostly colleges. There is a paid model for this too, but we're looking at shifting that a little bit because I think on the internet most people like free stuff. So we're shifting that model a little bit, but it's been a great success so far, and we've got some great plans to continue to grow that. All online at this point, though. So that being said, so 2013, crazy year, fun stuff, right? Retiring products, inventing new products. Over Thanksgiving break, I had a little time to just sit back and think and be like, wow, look what we did this year, and I kind of reminded my team to smell the roses a little bit because we're all working like crazy chickens, and but we did a lot this year, but it's not over. So the next star of the show is why I brought you guys here today. So, as many of you may have surmised from some of the images as you walk in and talking to me, we are opening up a retail center of NextStepU. So this is I don't know anything like it. Probably the most similar thing to it is like a Sylvan Learning Center or a Huntington, but we're not doing what they do. We're not doing tutoring, math tutoring, reading tutoring. This is going to be a great state-of-the-art center, essentially, to help people with their next step. Now I'm going to show you how. So the issue is that in any new business you want to find the problem. So what is the problem, right? The problem is there is no centralized hub to go help you with your next step. And let's face it, everybody has a next step, right? High school students when they're doing college and career planning, college students when they're doing career planning and or grad school planning, and adults. This is a huge market, right, Kathleen? Huge market. Adults re-careering and or going back to school. Whether it's a parent raised the kids, wants to get back in the workforce, someone who's just been let go out of a job, or someone who's just been miserable in a job for 15 years and finally wants to get it right. So that's what we want to do for adults. And so that is our solution, is to create programs and classes to take care of that problem. So the solution, of course, is NextStepU Retail Center, college and career life planning centers. I've signed the lease, and I've crossed the Rubicon, as they say. There's no going back. The lease is signed, and we're doing it. And if everybody knows where the Starbucks is, right across from East U Ball, we are renting the second floor. There is a second floor to that Starbucks. And it's about 1,500 square feet. And right now, it doesn't look very pretty, but as you can see by the renderings, Rinaldi Real Estate is building it out for us. And they're going to create a really state-of-the-art center that has private offices and also has a classroom that is state-of-the-art with just great technology to be able to not only have a great experience in the classroom, but we can record a lot of the classes so people can view them later, or they can watch them from anywhere. They can be in Arizona and watch a live class as well. So we're going to be doing a lot of cool tech in the center as well. So I can't use this in the official ads, but the core of what we're trying to do is be the eHarmony of your life. Like, here are you're like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Here's your God-given natural path. It's waiting over here, and we're right at the crossroads. And we want to be the matchmaker. We want to connect you to where you're supposed to be. And really, it's the prep work that goes into probably the most important decision of your life. When you buy a house, you hire a real estate agent. But when you go into your career and your college, could you use a little extra help? And that's what we're trying to do. Before you go spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year at a college, that's spend a little bit to make sure that you're in the right place. And so the idea is we are not going to get into placement, recruitment, in deep one-on-one counseling. That's what John's for. That's what Hannah and Kathleen and Jim's for. Our goal is to kind of do step 1 and step 2. We want to deliver a student, and by the time they get to their counselor, their college counselor, their career counselor, they're really happy because this person's gone to next step. We've prepped them. We've done all the just the crazy dirty work to get them to the point where they're ready to move forward. They're pointed in the right direction. And that's our goal. When I say being the eHarmony of the life is to, from assessment, let's find out who you naturally are, what your natural strengths are, and let's start to match career areas, colleges and college majors to that. And then let's get you hit the ground running in the right direction so that when you go meet with a professional counselor, you're ready to go. You're ready to do step 3 and step 4. So that's the ultimate idea of the business. And we have 2 core products to do that. So one side of the house, we're going to be doing professional like seminars, right? So there's 6 hours, 2 hours a night for 3 nights. And they're going to be extended programs that start with assessment, like I said, and with hit the ground running, point in the right direction, and tools and resources and skills in between. So this is a little bit more in-depth, a lot more in-depth, I should say, and really designed to work with people in a little bit more of a customized way. So that's part of our offerings. The core of our offerings is a 6-hour program for high school students to get college ready, a 6-hour program for college students to get career and or grad school ready, and a 6-hour program for adults to get career and or going back, or re-career and or going back to college ready. So that's one side of the house for our products. Excuse me. The other side is we're just going to have classes. We're going to have 1 to 2 hour classes, just one-hit wonders, SAT prep, how to market yourself to get a job. Financial literacy. So we're going to have dozens and dozens, probably hundreds of 1 to 2 hour classes in this areas as well. So those are the 2 product lines. So you can see we're trying to fit in this little niche that I think is being covered by a lot of counselors, but not all brought together in one central hub. So our goal is to organize the experience into one central place. So you might have seen some of the drawings as you came in, but this is doesn't look like this yet. It's a really, really great rendering done by Rinaldi and Taylor's here. Thank you very much. I don't know where you're sitting, but thank you. And so when you walk into our center, it's very much going to look like this. It's only 1,500 square feet, so it's not this huge building. But you walk in, and there's some centers to do some exploration and learn a little bit more about who we are. And then as you walk into the second door, there's a really great classroom. Lots of windows, very bright. It's just going to be an exciting place to learn. Our goal is to make it inspiring yet relaxing, because you want to be inspired, but at the same time we want you to relax because we're asking you to kind of reinvent yourself and or figure out the direction of the rest of your life. Now the beauty of this, people are telling me, Dave, you only got 1 classroom. Well, we don't have to have all the classes at our center. I just met, so we're going to help with college, careers, and life. And life means some fun things too. So I just met one of the head of the cheese managers over at Wegmans, and they do for their employees. They do Cheese University, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool? I told her, I bet everybody, or not everybody, but I bet a lot of people just that don't work at Wegmans would love to come to Cheese University, right? And we could have a class at Wegmans. That's a NextStepU class, right? So we don't have to have all the classes here. I mean, we could go to a great restaurant, and there could be one of the top local chefs can have a cooking class at the restaurant. So we can have classes in different places as well. And we could even partner with the local colleges too. Right, Larry? Can we do that? All right, see, it's all set. So, thank you. That's the idea. So, is it a big enough market? So, of course, we want to prove this model in Rochester, but do we want to stop there? Of course not. We want to go global. And so we're going to prove the model here in lovely Rochester, New York, and then we're going to just expand it all over the country, and then ideally the world. And yes, I'll be running the Sicily division. Want to come? So But we do want to have it all over the place. So we're going to prove this model locally, and then either through franchising or corporate expansion, take it all over. So then you want to look at the big market. Does this really have implications to go nationwide and global? Well, just in this country, if you look at the number of high school students, there's at any given time there's about 16 million college-bound high school students. At any given time there's about 20 million college students, right? And at any given time, adults looking to re-career and or go back to school, it's around 50 million. So pretty crazy numbers. And a friend of mine, Brian Keenan, who's here, does work in this space with trying to find people jobs. And a lot of his business these days is baby boomers. And baby boomers is another great market. My dad retired at the young age of 60. And was he ready to retire? No way. He wanted to do a lot of different things. So come on in, and we could help baby boomers find their next step in life. So there's a lot of different angles to this, and there's obviously a huge population to work with. So the business model, the in-depth programs, the 6-hour programs, they're $6.95. And the sell there, really, if you're a high school student, we're gonna talk to really this might resonate a little bit more with the parents. But we're going to say, hey, you're about to spend $10, $20, $30, $40,000 a year or more at college. At this point, spend the measly $6.95 to make sure that we've assessed them and they're moving in the right direction, or having a much higher chance of moving in the right direction, so that they're choosing the right career fields for the right reasons, and then matching that up to the right college majors, and then matching that up to the right colleges as well. And that you're very prepared when you go meet with your counseling office or your career counselor, you're prepped, ready to go. So, and then we're going to have, like I said, the classes, $59, $99. We're going to rent out offices to other career counselors as well. I'm calling it the hair salon model. How hairstylists like rent their chair. We're going to work with other counselors in the community who maybe work out of their house and or Starbucks. To say, hey, how would you, 15 hours, 20 hours a week, how would you like to rent an office? So that's a part of the business as well. We're also, like I said, we're not really going to do step 3 or step 4, but we will work with counselors that do that stuff. So if our students continue to go on to step 3 and 4 with some of the counselors in our network, there will be a referral fee in that business too. We will be renting our classroom. So businesses can have retreats there. I've already talked to Dale Carnegie, and they could have some of their classes there as well. I went to SUNY Buffalo. SUNY Buffalo can have a college info night at our center, and we could, rent the classroom for $300 for the night, SUNY Buffalo, and then, we market to our database and say, hey, anybody interested in going to SUNY Buffalo? We're having an info night. Come on over. Resale of existing services. I'm giving my friend Brian Keenan a plug right now, and Allie. So the Purple Briefcase is a new business here in Rochester that helps college students market themselves to stand out to get that job. Is that a good description? Is that good? And so when we're sitting at one of those tables finding out what someone needs, we're going to have just a slew of people and resources to recommend and connect. So, there may be a student ready to graduate college and they're interviewing, but they need some services and some tips on how to stand out and market themselves. And like a doctor, making a prognosis will say, you need Purple Briefcase. And we might actually offer their services in our center. And there's that's just one example. There's a lot of businesses that we can white label, resell, or at least refer. So you notice we're not creating from scratch any programs. I'm working with the best of the best that I know, and we're taking their stuff and we're NextStepifying it or referring it. So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. There's great stuff out there, right, Hannah and Jim? Like, why am I going to can I make something better? You're going to meet Hannah and Jim. Can I make something better than them? Just there's no way. So let me take their stuff and work with them so that we all win. Most importantly, the customers win. So that's what we're doing. And then, of course, revenue sharing opportunities with NextStepU and Next Step Academy. So some of these people in the center and in the centers someday will go to these other websites and they'll use their services as well. Well, we have some opportunities to make money there too. So from a business model, that's how we're going to support it. Traction, who are we to do this? Well, like I said, we've been around for 19 years. We have over 600,000 students in our database. I think it's 700,000 students now. We have relationships with 65,000 high school guidance counselors that are receiving Link magazine in 25,000 high schools. Next Step Academy was recently launched, so there's some traction there. We're working with hundreds of high schools with that as well. And I think the location is incredible because I think how many people go to Starbucks every day anyway, right across from Eastview Mall. It's a great location. And of course, we're going to put a sandwich sign out front starting very soon. People walking by, they can learn that we're coming soon, take a brochure. But you think about who goes to Starbucks too. Let's face it, a lot of college students, a lot of recurring adults go to Starbucks. And in fact, a lot of times when I go to Starbucks, I see career counselors that I know doing business there, right, Luis? So I think it's a great place to partner with, and maybe that will be our expansion model: is find like that city's most popular Starbucks and try to get as close as we can. So who is the team that is going to be running the show, the C team here? Well, of course, I'm going to be working on it. I've partnered myself with some great people. So Susan Sullivan is going to be the center director. They're all going to come up and introduce themselves in a few minutes. But Susan was at 13 years at Roberts Wesleyan, and she worked with non-traditional enrollment in marketing. So Susan is here, and it's a incredible fit to be running the day-to-day center and help grow the center to its potential. And then we have Jim Malone, who's over here, and you're going to be hearing more from Jim too. But Jim, for 35 plus years, has been doing college and career counseling, really, but his true love is the college counseling piece. He's going to tell you a little bit more about himself, but he's really spent most of his career in the New York City area, and then came up here for the weather. So thank you, Jim. Great experience. And then Hannah Morgan, many of you may know Hannah, so she's going to be director of our career programs, and 20 plus years of experience in delivering career-related programs and development programs. So we're going to hear from them in just a little bit. And then, everyone asks me, well, how are you going to market it? How are you going to market it? Well, I have a slide on that. There's a slide for that. So pre-events, you're at one, hello. We're going to do some guidance counselor events as well that just focus on the guidance community because we want to partner with them. Everything we've always done has not been in competition with the school counselors, the guidance counselors. It's been in partnership. Our goal is to get them so prepped that they've done their homework. By the time they get to the counselor is like pumped that the student took the time to do the pre-work before they met. So, and then of course we'll have a ribbon cutting event with the big scissors and all that stuff. So, right, Kathy, we got to get some big scissors. So traditional, direct mail, radio, billboards, public relations, guerrilla marketing, road signs, all those cool signs that you see on the road there that probably the highway department takes down every day, and Susan will be putting them up again in the morning. So. If anybody comes in from the west side, they'll see where Susan's signs are. Right? Sandwich signs, speaking, networking events, online. We'll do email marketing, retargeting, and social media. What is retargeting? I just explained to so retargeting is this. So if anybody's gone to a website recently to look at a product, and then you see that their ad follows you, like kind of stalks you later. So that's on purpose. That's not an accident. It's called retargeting or remarketing. And Google allows you to capture the cookies, so to show where they've been and where they're going. So we'll be doing that too. So we will do some online stalking and social media. Referral, discounts for existing customers. We'll have some programs. Say, did you love the program? Refer us, and we'll give some discounts for that. Open houses. So the beauty is, with all the classes, almost everybody I've met has something to teach, and a lot of it is business related. So maybe sometimes we'll have free talks to get people in and market the place, and it may be a marketing opportunity for the speaker. So we will buy booths at local college fairs and career fairs to promote what we're doing as well. And military partnerships. I mean, this thing could be one of the biggest things that we do is partner with the military as they get out of the military and looking to re-career, developing programs for them too. So the question is, how can you get involved? Why are you here? Well, there's 3 ways for you to get involved. First of all, buzz. Like, help me spread the word. Help us talk about it. If you all want to, after this event, tweet, Facebook, LinkedIn about it, all that stuff. Thank you. But just talk it up. I think we're really going to, make an impact here in Rochester. Our whole goal is really to help students with their next step. And as you can see, we're not competing with any high schools or colleges. We're really trying to provide them a better student. So ultimately, it's a win-win. So help us spread the word a little bit. The second way is submit a class. And you have forms on the table right now. And if you need more, we can certainly pass them around. You can do it now or you can do it later. But like I said, everyone is an expert in something. And if you feel some of your expertises could be translated into a class, or if you just have an idea for a class that you can't teach even, submit it. I mean, we're looking for ideas for classes. I mean, we want to keep this classroom full, or other classrooms. So that's another way too. And then the third thing is we're offering a really great special today as well. And it's right before Christmas, right before a holiday time, and you probably have people to still get gifts for. And there's probably people on that list that like you're saying to yourself, what the heck am I going to get this person? Those hard to buy for people. So we have like the ultimate gift right here today. And it's a great little gift certificate. Actually, it's a big gift certificate. Thank you, Diana, for making this. But you can fill this out today. And it's $99. If you what we will do is send you fill it out today, you turn it in, and then we will email you a fancy one that you can give as a gift. Or we can mail it to you if you would prefer that, whatever you want. But if you buy one today, you could get a second one for $49, but it's still a $99 value. So it's kind of, the second one's half price, but it's still, for the full price, or the full value. And the people that you give this to, or it can be for yourself, there's no expiration date. You can use it anytime. And it can be applied to anything. It can be applied to the one of the classes or more. It could be applied to one of the programs, the 695 programs. So in my opinion, it's the hottest gift of the season. And I can't believe I'm offering it. So take a look at that as well. Thank you. I'm a salesman at heart. I was trained by these two guys in radio, so thank you. Obviously, not a comedian at heart, a salesman at heart. So those 3 things. Help us spread the word. Consider suggesting a class. Consider buying a gift certificate. And also, too, just general feedback. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, ideas about the classes, about the center? Love to hear them. So, I just talked about that. Sorry. There we go. Before we get into questions, I do want to introduce the team that I was just talking about that are designing and running the programs for us. I'm going to start with Jim Malone, who I just introduced. But Jim, you want to come up and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, flashback for a moment to 1996. I've spent about 30 years at Harborfields High School as a school counselor, and an equal amount of time at CW Post training counselors. And there's a conference up in Westchester. And I thought, well, I'm a year away from small R retirement. Let me go to this conference. I've never gone to it. But halfway through, I wander upstairs, and I see a younger, thinner, but certainly still, even then, as vibrant young guy sitting at a table with a bunch of magazines in front of him. And I went over and introduced myself. He was extraordinarily engaging and friendly and warm. Fortunately, I'm happy to report he did not invite me to do this morning's warm-up exercise. But we immediately developed a lovely relationship, a deep friendship, actually, that has lasted the last 17 years. So I am thrilled to be part of this new venture. I've been very close to Next Step all through these years. I've written for Dave. We've done presentations together. You can just see in living color why he is so successful. I can also say that all the things he has said to you about the magazine are true. I have had the privilege in the last 16 years to wander the country, do a lot of consulting, a lot of counselor training, delivery of programs and workshops, and I go into guidance offices all over the country, and I do see Next Step, and I mention, you know, I know Dave, and they say, well, where is he from? And I said, well, when I met him, I asked him the same question, and he said, a little town you'd never heard of, Victor, New York. And I said, well, I have heard of it. It's near Canandaigua, because as a kid, I used to spend summers in Canandaigua back in the 1950s. How did we get up here? Very briefly, our daughter met a guy in law school who was from the area. My dear wife, Connie, who is at the table here, she and I came up for a bridal shower. And lo and behold, I had a cousin who sells real estate. We started looking at homes, and we thought Long Island, Northport, Canandaigua, what you can buy, and here we are 13 years later. So, about the program, Dave really covered an awful lot of the content. I'd like to make basically 2 or 3 points. I want to reiterate and reinforce we are not out to replace, undermine, undercut in any way the school counseling community. The beauty and success of Next Step has always been that it's been supportive, it's been an enhancer, it's been a presence to help the counselors do their jobs. I can tell you from many, many, many years of working in schools, school counselors have their hands full, they work extremely hard. The biggest problem is brokering the contact early enough between kids and counselors in a programmed way. An awful lot of guidance in schools is reactive. You know, stuff comes up and you deal with it. There is not really, in many schools, a guidance program that's proactive, that delivers the 4 steps of counseling. Assessment, who am I becoming, what am I about, what are my interests, my skills, my values, and other what we call metacognitive traits, the ability to take a risk, knowing how to listen, communication skills. So kids need real assessment, not to get them to decide early on majors, but to learn career self-management. It's an ongoing process, as we know. Secondly, they need to explore. You don't think about it and then jump to a decision. Step 2 is the exploration process. Really immerse yourself. Internet research, print, people, media, internships. Get to know who you are and get to know what's out there. If you do that well, the 3rd step emerges, and that's really decision making. And then the 4th step is go for it. College applications, or as Hannah will probably talk to you about, in the job market, it's the job search. We really want kids to internalize that process. And our emphasis is going to be on steps 1 and 2. Very thorough career assessment, and then good exploratory. We want to teach them to fish. We don't want to give them a fish dinner. The goal is that if in grade 9 or 10 or even 11, they spend 6 hours with us, everything we're doing is evidence-based, research-based, it's very effective. We will have them college and career ready to sit down to work with their counselors so they can make really good decisions. So in a nutshell, that is basically what our goal is. The problem in many of our schools is that the kids don't get to that until junior year. You know, each grade level has its own agenda, but we are very busy with seniors in the second half of junior year, when they are juniors, getting them to plan and then doing applications as seniors. So if we can work with kids in 9, 10, or even early 11, we will have them very college and very career ready. So thank you so much for listening. We look for your support, and I'd be delighted if anybody wants to spend a little bit of time later on or contact me later. You can get my email through Dave and the website. I would be delighted to tell you more about the program. Thank you so much for your support and interest.
Thank you, Jim. One thing he didn't tell you guys, and I have to mention it, is, so the coolest thing about Jim is he's Mariah Carey's guidance counselor. This is a true story. And Mariah actually gives him credit for being one of the only people to say, go for it. And it worked out. And so that's kind of cool. So we're going to put that right on the sign. Oh, Mariah Carey's guidance counselor.
And then you may hear from the lawyer.
It's a cut of every service. I'll just go in order here. Hannah Morgan, if you want to come up quick next. She's going to tell you a lot about herself, and Hannah's in charge of our career programs. Thank you.
I was so flattered and honored when Dave contacted me to talk about what he was up to. It was a great opportunity. And I, got to work with so many really fun people on this project. Jim, the woman who sold Jim his house, sold me my house in Canandaigua. So it's a very small, intertwined world that we live in. There's so many great places, and there's so many really talented people here in the career space, and that's what I love doing. And to be able to make this process easier for everybody is really what we're all about, and what I'm excited to be able to work with Jim on for this NextStepU. So I don't, there's not a lot I want to say. Just thank you all for being here this morning. It is a great honor to be a part of this project, and I'm really excited to be here. For those of you that don't know, I worked for a number of years at Rochester Works. I developed a program called Career Navigator, which still runs there at Rochester Works every other month or so, and we've taken that to Poughkeepsie and Buffalo, and that's sponsored through the Workforce Investment Boards to help people who are in transition, in job search, look for work at the cost and being covered and funded through the Workforce Investment Board. So that's loosely the foundation for this program that we are using here at NextStepU. It's got a lot more of the assessment piece part of that, because that is the more difficult part of the process for a lot of people, especially these new college graduates who are coming out and not sure what now to do. So I want to thank you again for being here, and like Jim, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and thanks so much. Thanks.
Next up is Susan Sullivan, who's going to be our center director.
Hi, everybody. I know so many friends here today. Thank you for coming out and for supporting us. As my slide said, I spent 13 years at Roberts Wesleyan College working with adult learners. I learned a lot through the admissions process, through the recruitment process, through my ability to meet people in the community and really to find solutions for adults who were going back to school. I worked with a great team at Roberts who gave me the freedom to kind of try to solve those problems, learn what they are, and I think that's what I bring to the center. Just really looking for solutions. We make friends in the community, we're looking for partners in the community, but we're really trying to help people get to their next step in a way that helps to fulfill them professionally and contribute to the Rochester workforce. And so today's point, where's the place where they learn how to do that? And so that's what the center really is all about. So we're looking for partners to bring their expertise, to bring their partnership, to bring their friendship together in one place so that we can help solve those problems. I am an adult learner. I am a career changer. I am a baby boomer. And I'm going to fight Dave for that Sicily location. Just really looking for your ideas and ways to help us help the people in Rochester and then beyond to fulfill this unique need. So please bring your ideas, contact me, come and visit me. I'll buy you coffee. Thank you.
Safe to say we'll have Starbucks coffee in our locations. Yeah. And then quickly, I wanted to bring John Serafin up because he's so good looking. He was our cover model, and just give you an opportunity to look at him. Well, John's been a friend forever, original recipient of the magazine, and been a friend, really an advisor through the years, a huge supporter, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how he, as a school counselor, a guidance counselor, perceives what we're doing, and hopefully as a partnership. Yeah, look away. You're
how savvy Dave is as a business guy. He puts an old bald guy on the cover of his first magazine. not the best idea. I'm going to brag like Jim bragged. I was Philip Seymour Hoffman's guidance counselor. I can remember telling Philip in my office, closing the door and saying, hey, you got to get your act together because you're the biggest screwball we've had in like 20 years. So that's my claim to fame. On a serious note, Dave has been real mindful as he's gone through this process of trying not to step on school counselors' toes. And I can't speak for the entire high school counseling community, but I really, truly don't see him as a threat. In the same way that most stand-up comics probably never saw him as a threat. We really don't see him as a threat at all. And he's been very, very thoughtful, and as he usually is when he tries to go forward with something, to be sure that everything is in order. And I can assure him, and I have, and I'm not afraid to tell him when he has a foolish idea, that if we're real genuine about what we do as a school counseling community, we would like the kids to come to us and families to come to us well prepared and have a different perspective and a different point of view. So I think partnering with him, his idea, and I'll be the first one in the business to support him in his endeavors and push kids and families that way to hear what they have to offer. So, again, I use the analogy of like a football coach. I said, Dave, look, if I'm a high school football coach and you're running a football camp in the summer to improve the skills of my athletes, of course I'm going to want you to push my kids your way and help them with their skills. And the one thing I've known about Dave for years is his heart's always in the right spot. He's a great businessman, but I think better than being a really good businessman, he always has his heart in the right spot. And I really believe that when he's trying to get people moving forward with their next step, it's genuine. So he has my full support, and I would be the first one out there trumpeting his program with other school counselors. So. All right,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone that just spoke was on a think tank that we've had for the past 6 to 8 months, and I also want to thank Kathleen Pringle for being on that think tank as well, and Luis Martinez. Thank you. And where is Susan Larson? Is she still here? Oh, Susan Larson, thank you. Emily Ellis just joined us, wherever you are, from RIT. And am I forgetting anybody? I also want to give a special call out to Diana Fisher right here, who has been on the think tank as well. She works at NextStep for 12 years as of yesterday. So thank you for enduring me for 12 years. And also, she's taking all the programs that all these great people have, and I'll say NextStepifying them into NextStepified workbooks and products. So thank you for that. And so that is it. I would like to take, I'm trying to be true to my word and get you guys out of here by 9 o'clock. So take the last 5 minutes, really. Are there any thoughts, questions, comments that you'd like to ask now or come and grab me later? I must have done a really good job explaining everything, right? Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Here's my contact info if anybody wants to follow up with me. It really is a community outreach as far as what we're trying to do. Our mission is to help the community. And it starts with people here today giving me ideas, classes, thoughts, networking with me with other people that can really contribute to the success of the center. And ideally, 10 years from now, we'll remember this event. And I am videotaping it, so we can all watch ourselves. But we'll be doing our next event from Rome, Sicily, wherever, So, I'll say France, sounds good too, right? But it all starts today, and the whole idea is that we're making a global impact. But baby steps, right? One step at a time. So thank you very much for coming. Very much appreciate it, and have a great rest of the day. Take care.